Okay, so today I had my first appointment with my doctor, Dr. Eduardo Garrido, Garrido. I'm not Hispanic. I'm not from a Spanish-speaking country. Spanish is not my first language, so I got my East Texas accent, so I probably said his name wrong, but that's how you spell it. Anyway, so I get up. I don't feel good. I'm swollen. Hold on. I'm swollen. Just a second. Let me close this door. Yeah, y'all get to see all of this. I'm swollen like the freaking Michelin Man. I mean, I am swollen. Like, then I look at my hips. And this morning when I was looking, I was like, okay, so this one looks more rounded and curved, and this one looks more kind of flat. What's going on? So it's a concern to me, because I don't care if I have hips or not, but I don't want to have one hip left combo and one just regular, and walking around like this, looking crazy. And so, my nurse is trying to hurry up and get me up. She's getting me dressed. She's like, go wash your face and brush your teeth. And I'm just not feeling good because I'm so swollen and I'm in a bad mood. And I will say that today has been, as far as my mental health goes, today has been the worst day so far. Even though it's supposed to be getting better, I just woke up in a bad, pissy mood. I was having bad dreams and I woke up and I wasn't in a good mood. And anybody who knows me knows I'm sort of an asshole. I'm like a Sour Patch Kid. There is nothing that I have that I won't help you with. But I also know how to say no. And when I don't feel like being bothered, I just don't want to be bothered. And so that is the only issue I have with my surgery sister, is that she's so sweet and bubbly, and she's very social. And I have like a mean side, and so I'll be trying to, not be mean, because I can be mean, and it don't be nobody's fault. It's just me. My family's used to it. They just ignore the hell out of me. But I don't want to come off as, a mean person, even though I am kind of mean. Okay, anywho. So I'm at the table, and I'm not wanting to eat breakfast, but I have to eat something because I got to take my medications and everything. And, they get me ready. The driver comes and picks me up. I go up to my doctor's office, and I'm the fourth person to be seen. So he sees his post-op and his pre-ops before he does his surgery. So that's why I have surgery scheduled for 12 p.m. because my doctor, he sees all his people first. So I'm waiting, and I'm like, okay. I go in, they call me in, and Dr. Garrido, he comes in, he's like, hey, you're looking good, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're swollen. He's like, hold your titties up. And I'm like, really? And so he's like, hold my titties up so he can get me out of the garbage. And so he looks at me, and he shows me the incision. He's okay with the incision. He's okay with everything. And he was like, you're swollen. And he told me, maybe let's go to the hyperbaric oxygen chamber treatments and things like that. Now, the one thing you gotta have if you're gonna have surgery is patience. Gotta have a lot of patience, because you're not just gonna get off the table and, okay, oh, I have my surgery body. You have your brand new body that you can go and have a hot girl summer with. No, you gotta go through this shit. You gotta go through the walking slumped over. All of this in my back right here, all of that is fluid. All of that is fluid. It's just fluid. All of it is fluid. I have so much fluid built up in my back. You gotta go through the massages. You gotta go through your stomach. Once the swelling goes down and I don't have so much fluid, my waist is gonna come in a lot more. Once the flood fairy hits, this is gonna round out some more. Everything is gonna smooth out. But for those first few months, especially these first few days, You have to be mentally prepared. Let's just say that. You have to be very mentally prepared. And so before I even came, I prepared myself to be in pain. I prepared myself to be in pain. I prepared myself to not, have a lot of mobility. I prepared myself for it mentally. And sometimes you cannot completely prepare yourself mentally. But the thing that I prepared myself mentally for the most was to have patience. Have a lot of patience. Come prepared with a lot of patience because you are going to do a lot of waiting. And so if you see my brows look a little bit cleaner than they were the other day. So I was supposed to have an appointment with Tropical Brows, and I got to her studio and she looked at my eyebrows. And if you see, this eyebrow curves. This eyebrow is more straight and the arches over here, whereas this eyebrow, the arch is here. And they're different. Like you can't see because the way I pluck my eyebrows a certain way. I'm the only person who can do my eyebrows because they are completely different. They are totally two completely different eyebrows. And when she looked, she was like, no, mama. She was like, no, I cannot. She said because when she did the lines, she has a little thing that she marks everything on your face and then she takes pictures of it and then she runs the lines and everything and she marks again. And she was like, no, she was like, there would be a big gap between where this eyebrow arches and where that eyebrow arches. And she would have to fill in a lot of shading. And she was like, I'm not going to do that to you. And she was like, I could take your money and do it, but I am not going to do that. She was like, just fill it in with your pencil very lightly. And what she did was she just cleaned them up a little bit. She filled it in with a little pencil, which is what I do anyway. And she just cleaned them up a little bit and she was trying to give me a refund for my deposit. And I told her no, because she literally could have took me for my money. It was $120, at her office. At the recovery house, it was $200. But she did not. And I was like, hey, man, keep that $25. And so my surgery sister is back. She just had surgery today. Took a picture of her walking on her walker. I'll see if she'll let me post it. I'm not going to post pictures of her without her permission. And so my surgery sister is already curvy. Like she has the natural, she is one of the type of people with the naturally small upper body and then she fans out at the hip. And so now her waist is like even smaller and her hips and stuff are like even bigger, but she already had big hips and big booty. Like she didn't come to get stuff added. She came to get things taken away. Oh, y'all. Man, y'all, let me tell you something. The food over here, even in my recovery house, and compared to other places, I think the food is pretty good, but it's just different from what we're used to at home. I'm like, man, can I have some gravy on something? Especially being from the South. Man, they gave us this dried out beef. And I was like, this is supposed to be pot roast beef. This is supposed to be braised. This is supposed to be braised in liquids or put in a crock pot all day long with some potatoes and carrots and onions and stuff, And they gave it to us all dried and baked and with some onions on top of it. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, some of this food. I ended up going on Uber Eats and buying a bunch of snacks. And I asked my recovery house owner if I could cook, if I bought some things from the store, could I cook? And she was like, yeah, just be careful on the gas stove. But I guess that's about it. I had somebody asking me about the cost of surgery and things like that. And so if y'all will leave questions, I'm pretty sure nobody's really watching this video. But if I get questions, then I'll do a Q&A, okay? And I will do a Q&A from some of the questions that I've gotten on Instagram. And that is all I'm gonna do for today. That's all I'm gonna talk about for today. I think that's all that's relevant. All right, toodles. Oh, this is the body. Of course, y'all didn't see it. Okay, so when I was at Carrito's office, he actually put me on the last hole, my stage 1 file, And so this is what I'm looking like. The front, I'm still hunched over. Like I said, this is a lot of fluid in my back. A whole lot of fluid. And the rock, the waddle, that is what it is. Oh, y'all, I fell down on the ground today. I didn't fall hard, thankfully. I did not fall hard, but I did fall. And it was a scary experience. So, if y'all notice, either when I'm talking to y'all, I'm leaning on something. I'm either sitting, I'm leaning on something. But if I'm standing, I never stand still. It's a rock, it's a sway. It's a sway. Because your balance isn't what it used to be because you're hunched. And so it's hard to stand like this and keep that angle. But it's easier to sway. So I'm sitting outside, I'm waiting on my ride. They're around the corner. And I guess the angle of the sidewalk was kind of slanted. And I lost my balance and I fell on my butt on the cement. But it was steps and I didn't fall hard, so that was a good thing, but it did hurt. It hurt my abdomen because you automatically want to catch yourself. Whew. But it's hot in this fucking bathroom, y'all. And so I'm gonna end this video and I will talk to y'all tomorrow or within the next few days. There's nothing that's really happening, so whatever.